Hello everybody, it's nice to see you back here again. I have been on vacation as I had mentioned in my previous video, so took a little time off. And of course, as I took, 10 days for vacation going down to the Gulf of Mexico and Mississippi and Alabama, we had the most amazing auroras, as many of you or most of you know. And guess what? I was too far south in the United States to experience them, which is on my bucket list. So go figure. I mean, we were down there, and my mom and I, who have had this, we travel a lot together. We've had this, like I say, on our bucket list for a long time. And I can't tell you the number of times we have been places like up north on trips where we didn't realize it, but that night it was out. And then people the next day are talking about it. And then here we are just recently with one of the most amazing shows that probably has ever been offered. And we don't see it. So anyway, just kind of funny how that works out. But the reason I share that with you is because it really has been in the forefront of the information I've been receiving lately. This whole idea of the solar maximum we're in, these massive solar flares we're receiving. And as you all know, we are impacted by this, all right? We are impacted by this. It's not just a magnetic storm that's happening that looks pretty and colorful. I mean, yes, that's the case, but more importantly, what we've talked about previously, and as a reminder, is this is ascension energy that we are being offered from the sun, okay? Not just the earth, but us as sentient human beings. Very important to this transformation. So when I came home, I like how they say, I express it this way too. It's kind of like I feel like, you're about to give birth to something. I could just tell that they wanted to talk about something along these lines. So I sat down yesterday and very quickly just spit out the channel that they wanted you to hear. And it's really beautiful. It's lovely. It's short. And as a lot of their poetic kind of messages are, but there's real purpose in what they have to say. And it's so encouraging, and I really hope you do enjoy it today. So I'll be cranking out a few more videos here in the next couple of weeks, and before you know it, we're going to be into the June energy update. But anyway, I hope you're doing well with all these energies. I know I have felt extremely fatigued actually it was yesterday, and typically what happens with me is I'll not keep looking to see was there a solar flare. I'll just feel something, and it's as many of you know, it's a fatigue that isn't like, oh, I'm tired, I need to sleep more, even though that's what you want to do. It's a different fatigue. It's a different feeling, and that's when I went and typed in yesterday, solar flare today. Well, there had been one that had occurred 24 hours before on the sun, and as we know, it takes a little bit to get here, and so no wonder I was feeling that way. So just always remember, if you're feeling a little funky or a little off or super tired, really lean into that as you can. I know we have our human busy days, but remember, we're rebalancing things, so we've got to think about ourselves during this time. We are energetic beings, highly affected by these events, and they are all very purposeful. So with that today, I will remind you, purplerainhealing.com, if you want to check out my services to assist you forward in your awakening and ascension journey, whether it be mentoring, one-on-one guidance for you, distance energy healing, and channeled messages. So I do offer all of those for you if you would like some assistance in your journey. So with that, I'm going to just send you over to the recording. It is a recording. And then from there, it'll just trail off, and then I will see you in the next video. Take care of yourself during these highly energetic and very purposeful times. Thank you for joining me today.
We are here at a time in this journey of yours that you have seen. Trembling at times you have, and other times the joyful energy reigns. It is a push and pull for you, we know and understand. One day you feel as though you've been pulled through the knothole, and then comes the slam to the floor you feel from the rays of the bright sun in these days. And yet what you find in times to come is all of this is for purpose and then some. The energy will shift and change you, we find, over the time of this process that unwinds. The sun brightens its gaze upon you, glowing up the skies for the beauty that surrounds you. For many of you have taken in the sight across the world for your delight. Those who have seen with their eyes so bold the bright colors in the sky that unfold are streaming down to you today. Understand, it is not just the brilliance in your way in the skies above. It is here for you, brought with love, raising your frequency and vibration too, even though at times it feels the opposite. We know, oh yes, too. But shake and quake, the world it will, loosening up the hardened energy within you too, and others around. Like mortar we find falling from an old building that has seen its time. For you are building anew this day, each one of you, from the inside out, in your way. And one way or another, the old will fall and crumble into dust, but you will still stand tall, a lighter, brighter, oh yes, you, the sun sharing its light, so you can find the truth in you. As the facade falls away, you start looking at yourself in a different way. The light shines through your skin and eyes too. You are a brighter version and a happier one too. Even though the struggles that came with it we find, tearing down the walls that have kept you locked inside. And now as you have journeyed this far, we say, building anew is what is in your way. The sun shines brightly to guide you in your pathway, opening you up to a brand new day. Exhaustion and fatigue will find its way to your door, whether for a few moments or days. And yet we implore that you listen to what is happening around, for you will see it all in nature to astound. Right in front of you we find you have seen it already recently in the night skies. Watch for the signs and messages we say too. Become more connected like the ancients did, we say too, with nature and her creation we find. For the story is written in the stones of time. Seek the information and knowledge of the days of old, for you're going through a cycle, another one so bold. For the times to come we say, meeting the vibration that will launch you into a new day. For the collective of humankind too, rather than drowning as the ones in the past did too. Swim above it you will find, for you have reached a different frequency and vibration in time. This is the difference we say of what happened back in the olden days. Signs they have left for you we find. Learn and understand and seek this knowledge in time, for you will see the pathway too. History repeats itself, but not this time we say too. You are in a different age we say. It is time for the earth to come in her way, and with it you will too, all of you, with your hearts full of love for one another. It is true. It will happen one day. You will see. You've already felt these sensations at times in your day, getting more connection we find to the universe's messages and signs. And when you recognize that you have changed already too, gradually, yes, it is a process. Remember this. Forever we say too, nothing happens overnight we find, but at times you will be astounded at what the next day will find. But again, we say it is too, you are swimming above the fray with your light and vibration and frequency that shines. No more drowning in the waters of the ancient times. And yes, we wish for each of you we find to lean into these highly energetic times. The earth will respond to the sun we say too, for partners they are in this journey we say too, one feeding the other to rebirth in her way, and along with it, humankind comes to stay, not washed away anymore we find. All the old civilizations of time, but the messages are there and the signs we say too. So much learning for you to do. Continue in your path and focus we find on the inner knowings and journey and what serves you in these new times, for you will create a life we find, one that you could not have imagined in time. As you build the light from inside out, what you see in your world will be with a resounding shout from the frequency you have embodied. We say the work you have done to find your way, slashing the forest you have done, we say too, creating a new pathway for the others to come, we say, in due time. For they will too, but it is you that are taking the rest above, we say, the waves of energy that can drown some in their day. And with this, we will say too, you will pull them out of the abyss. For it is a percentage of you that are needed, we say too, to awaken and connect and open your hearts, we find, to the deep journey of your own inside. Understanding who you are, we say too, the I am presence deep inside of you, presented out for all to see. For you are the light workers, come to save humanity today.